Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some massive news for the Oregon Duck fans coming out of the recruiting trail as four-star wide receiver Cooper Perry commits to the Oregon Ducks in this 2025 class. And the first thing when you start talking about Cooper Perry taking his talents to Eugene is perfect fit. I mean, you take a look at what the Oregon Ducks want from their wide receivers. They want guys that can operate in space and that can create separation. You look at Cooper Perry, probably the two best attributes that he brings to this Oregon offense is what he can do with the football in his hands and how well he can create separation. You look at this Oregon offense, we've talked about it all offseason. It was one of the best passing attacks that we saw in college football, but it's predicated on timing and getting the football out to their guys on time, early, and in space. And you look at Cooper Perry, he's going to fit like a glove in this kind of offense. Want to dive into Cooper Perry, talk about how he fits into this Oregon offense. Take a look at the film. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. A massive shout out to the Oregon Duck fans. It's been a while since we busted out the Oregon Ducks commitment sweatshirt. It's been a blast talking this team on the recruiting trail, in the transfer portal. Cannot thank the Oregon fans enough for all the love that you guys have shown the boys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Cooper Perry. And before we get into the film, I really want to hammer home why this one makes so much sense for not only Cooper Perry, but this Oregon program. We talked about it at length. Why did I think Dillon Gabriel is a perfect fit in this Oregon offense? It's because he excels in those short intermediate route concepts. Why is Tez Johnson making so much noise for this Oregon Ducks program? Because he's a perfect fit in terms of what Oregon wants to do. Cooper Perry, and I'm probably going to get some crazy looks because he's 6'1", 185, kind of reminds you of what Tez Johnson brings to this Oregon offense. And I'll probably say Cooper Perry probably takes over for Tez Johnson with that kind of slot receiver that can really create separation quickly and excel after the catch. We talked about it. Bo Nix, his average depth of target was only 6.4 yards down the field. This was a phenomenal passing attack, but it kind of shows you the ball comes out quick. We need wide receivers that can create separation really quick in their routes and who can excel after the catch. Cooper Perry is one of those guys. This Oregon team almost led the country in yards after the catch. Cooper Perry, a yards after the catch machine. You take a look at what he did at the high school level over the last couple of years. The last 2 years, over 150 catches for over 2,200 yards, 38 touchdowns. And something that's really standing out to me is Oregon's been crushing it on the recruiting trail, but something that is really impressive about this Oregon program is it's seemingly becoming a destination spot for offensive talent, right? Dante Moore comes to Oregon. Dillon Gabriel comes to Oregon. Evan Stewart, a wide receiver that could have gone anywhere he wanted in the country, comes to Oregon because they look at this Oregon offense. They look how productive it is. They look at the positions that players are in to really put up some numbers and say, that's where I want to go play my college football. Cooper Perry, no doubt, looks at this Oregon offense the exact same way. Really fired up about not only Cooper Perry, in my mind, being a very good wide receiver, but also the fit in terms of this is how you want to operate on the recruiting trail. It's all nice to just go after as many 5 stars as you can. And in fact, that's probably what you should be doing on the recruiting trail. But what's really important is making sure you're getting guys coming into your program that fit what you want to do. I think that's what Michigan has done it so well the last couple of years, where they're not necessarily top 10 in the recruiting classes, but they get guys that fit their culture, that fit their scheme. And I look at Cooper Perry and say he fits Oregon in terms of what they want to do on offense to an absolute T. I want to get into the film and talk a little bit about, kind of highlight what we're talking about with Cooper Perry. And the first rep you're going to see is, this is a guy that just knows how to operate after the catch, makes people miss with ease, gets in and out of his cuts, phenomenal contact balance. You're talking about a wide receiver that elite movement skills in terms of short area quickness at 6'1", 190 pounds. He's a physical wide receiver. And again, probably don't want to be doing this at the college football level, running backwards like that. But when you're an athlete like Cooper Perry at the high school level, go do what you got to do, and you see him finishing the route. You're going to see a little physicality at the end of this play as well. This is a guy that I compared to Tez Johnson, but is a little bit bigger than Tez Johnson at 6'1", 190 pounds. this is a play that I want to highlight as well, because we talk about, okay, what can he do after the catch? Let's talk about how he can create separation quickly in his route trees. You see press man coverage right here. Cooper Perry, elite short area quickness, elite ability to separate in his route trees, phenomenal release, tracks the football extremely well. All things that are extremely important to this Oregon offense. And then you look at what he can do after the catch. He's not a track guy because he's an All-American lacrosse player in the spring, but this is a guy that certainly could get it done on the track and field if he wanted to. And again, you see the absolute burners that he has when it's time to go in open space. I think Cooper Perry, one phenomenal wide receiver, really good fit in this Oregon offense. And the next rep I want to talk about is, all right, let's see. We talk about, all right, short area quickness, the ability to create separation, the ability to create after the catch. Let's see a little physicality at the catch point as well for Cooper Perry, working vertically down the field. Really good feel for playing that football in the air, going up, using that big frame, going up and making a play. I think Cooper Perry checks so many boxes. And for you guys that have been listening to me for a while talk about these kids coming from high school, so much emphasis goes to verified track times, verified height and weights. What I look for in wide receivers is something that I think the NFL looks at. You look at the best wide receivers in the NFL or at the college football level, right? The Cooper Kupps, the Stephon Diggs, those guys that know how to separate in their route trees. Football is a separation game, making space for yourself and operating after the catch. Cooper Perry is that kind of guy. He knows how to separate. He knows how to operate after the catch. And you look at what Oregon's doing in the 2025 class. And I saw someone on Twitter talk about Oregon's recruiting ranking right now. And I said, if there's one thing that I'm not worrying about with this Oregon Ducks program, it's what they're doing on the recruiting trail. It is early in the month of April. We fast forward to the beginning of December during signing day. We're going to be talking about a top 10 class. We've talked about all the talent that is going to check out Eugene. Something I want to highlight is the battery that they have cooking in terms of the offensive skill, right? Akili Smith Jr., guy we talked about when he committed, super, super high upside. You have Dante Moore still waiting in the wings for this Oregon offense. Dallas Wilson, Oregon doing their best to hold on to a very talented receiver from Tampa, Florida. Now you get Cooper Perry in the fold. Really good quarterback play, really good wide receiver play. That is a good recipe for the Oregon Ducks in this 2025 class. And I think we're going to see Oregon just start to get it going on the recruiting trail. We'll cover what they're doing in terms of the summer visits. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. Again, feels good to be talking some more Oregon football commitments. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.